Alright, so before we continue with the campaign, which we can because I'm able to really progress in my renown pretty nicely, there's a couple things I want to show you guys. First off,
Archon's light shine upon you.
as you can see here, I've actually gotten level 1 of all 4 things here, including the feature for the Kyrians called the Path of Ascension. Let's check this out.
Our charge is sacred. Our vigil
With the anima you collected, we can once again start up the Path of Ascension, the eternal training ground of the Kyrian. The path is an ancient tradition and favored amongst many of the Kyrian, aspirant and ascended alike. The Hands of Courage, Apollon, and Atramidi have stepped up to lead this tradition. Once you herald the path's rebirth, speak to them to learn more.
discipline in all things.
Oh, make my way over there. I do like that it has the same running animation as a, you know, like a big cat mount. So this is where it's at. The Path of Ascension Crafter?
I have much to offer.
Hold on a second. Right. I believe I recall meeting you two before.
My blade is always ready.
By your hand, the Colosseum is powered by anima once more. Glory awaits you and your allies in the Path of Ascension.
Stand firm, and
Before your soulbinds step foot in the Colosseum, you must challenge your first opponent. There is a tradition to this. As with all things, you will need to gather specific items and then bring them back here to fashion armaments to help execute your challenge. In the case of your first challenge, you will find the materials throughout Bastion. Return to me once you have collected everything. Then we will continue. Interesting.
may your courage never falter.
You'll be able to find the necessary components here in Bastion. In the future, however, you may need to travel to other realms of the Shadowlands to gather more materials. I see.
My blade is always ready. May your courage never falter.
Browse at your leisure.
Huh. Okay. That's stuff to look at much later on down the road when we are just kind of swimming in anima. It's kind of like how there were some things we couldn't really get access to early on in expansions like Legion and such until we just had a ton of that stuff much later on in the expansion. Then it was like, alright, now we can get this. Alright, so I'm pretty sure that's like, hey, go gather this stuff here because... Yeah, it doesn't even tell me where I can really go get those. I just kind of have to get these as we continue, so... Before we continue the actual campaign, though, there is something I want to show you guys. So, I mentioned that mirror piece that I found off of Devos. I thought I was supposed to go to that area from the, where the flight school was in order to be able to turn it in. However, then I realized that Thenios was here. I could just come here and turn it into him right here. I did, and he was like, huh, how interesting. To which he then said,
Guide you.
Uther was a being of justice on your world. I am sure that it was quite surprising for you to see his fate here, following a leader who embodies what he stood against in life. I believe that you should witness this memory firsthand. Take it to my soul mirror. View the memories within.
Learn from the past, but do not linger in it.
Now he wants me to go all the way back over there. Seriously? There has to be an easy way to get there. Because you cannot... Blizzard cannot be forcing us to have to rely on this thing that is bugged and doesn't work all the time. That's horrible.
Much.
Like, why would you force us to rely on something that is bugged? Oh, wait. Where have I heard that before? So there's no active world quest other, so I'm going to give this a try. If it doesn't work, I'm coming back here and we're just going to continue the campaign. Because obviously this is going to let me re-show you the animation that they had before Shadowlands came out. One for each zone to give us an idea of what was going on there. This is the one that, of course, focuses on Uther and shows the beginning of the change for Devos. And, of course, a flashback to what happened between Uther and Arthas. And I want to re-show it to you because it's really cool. It's really good. But if I have to do that flight school thing in order to actually get to it and show it off to you guys, I'm just going to be very frustrated and just give up. Unless I try to look up, like, is there an easier way to get here without relying on that stupid minigame. I'm sorry, but that's just so stupid since it doesn't work. It's like, dude, hey, you want to get up here? Do this minigame here that we've put in place that doesn't work. Like, seriously, just add something here for Kyrians to be able to just go straight up there. You know? Oh, hello. I think it actually is doing that. Hallelujah, it's a miracle. I think. Well, I got over here. Hold on. So when the world quest is not over here, then I can be able to actually make my way up here. Good to know. Nope. I need the proof of wisdom. It actually helps show. You can see here, it's my handy notes. It says that behind the chest is a flight path called the Path of Wisdom. It leads to a sequence of platforms with different incenses that you can commune with. Commune with them in the order of patience, knowledge, insight, or on the judgment platform, an orb called the Path of Judgment will appear. The orb will then take you to the true incense of judgment, commune it with it, and the final flight pad will grant you the proof of wisdom to open the chest, which gives you a treasure and a cosmetic thing called the Harmonious Sigil of the Archon. I can do that on my own time. For now, though, what do you guys say we take a look at Uther's memory?
Light, save my soul.
Uther.
Where am I?
Welcome to Bastion. You led a truly selfless life, and for that, you have been chosen.
Chosen?
To shed your mortal burdens and join the ranks of the Ascended, serving to ferry the souls of the dead unto the Shadowlands.
I serve the light, and my work is not done. There is an evil that must be...
There is no evil here. The darkness was sealed within the Maw long ago.
You're wrong. He destroyed my home, murdered my people and my king. He must be punished.
You are an aspirant now. You must accept your new purpose and purge yourself of this desire for vengeance.
What I desire is justice.
Devos, why are you training this soul? It is beneath your station as a paragon.
He cannot let go. He continues to demand retribution for his death.
And this concerns you? Many souls take eons to ascend.
Yes, but this one seems broken, Thenios. Unlike any soul I have seen. I have begun to wonder whether he was deemed worthy of Bastion. By mistake.
Be careful, Devos. I would not let the Archon hear such a thought. In time, he will forget. Trust our ways. Trust the path.
Devos, how long must we train?
Until you are ready to ascend.
And what is keeping me from ascension?
Nothing but the memory of your mortal life.
How can I forget when I can still feel his blade?
Your soul is wounded? Who did this to you?
He was my student. He betrayed us all.
Show me. The runes on his blade were unmistakable. This dark agent runs free on a mortal world with the power of the Maw itself in hand. Our realm is imperiled.
Impossible. The Maw is inescapable. You must return to the path.
If he had purged his life, we never would have known of this calamity. The path is flawed.
Enough! The order of the Shadowlands depends on the execution of our eternal charge. You will abandon this course.
As you command, my Archon. Uther! The time of your ascension has come.
I thought I was not ready.
Do you wish to see him punished?
I do.
Then prepare yourself. The moment he falls, we will claim him.
I see only darkness before me.
Now, cast him into the maw. Return him to the darkness he served. His eternal suffering awaits.
He was my student.
Remember what he did, and take your vengeance.
Not vengeance. Justice.
I did an entire video talking about that animation, at times pausing, just kind of going into an analysis and discussion about the entire thing. So I'll try to avoid doing that here as well, but I mean, I see that and I just can't help but want to comment on some of those things. You know, justice or vengeance. That's kind of one of the only things I really have to say about that. And yeah, that's just yet another reminder that we still have a chance of actually getting to see Arthas again. You know? We actually may end up seeing Arthas again in this expansion. The next raid in the next patch is supposed to take place in Torghast, I believe. I would not be surprised if by the end of that, the story, or not even at the end, maybe at some point during or at the end of that raid, we're going to encounter Arthas and possibly break him out of there. I don't know if that's what's going to happen, but Blizz would not be including this stuff about Arthas here unless they were teasing that they were going to actually bring him back. But they have also made it clear they don't want to just bring him back for the sake of bringing him back. You know, that's something they hold in very high regard. This is not in case of an emergency break open glass situation that some people have been joking about and referring to. This is what they said about Illidan in Legion. They were like, oh, things are going bad because of warlords. Break the glass with Illidan to bring people to come back. No, I don't believe that. I've never believed that about how they used Illidan in Legion, that was not the reason they did that. There was a very clear purpose and reason for it with the redemption of themselves that they wanted to do because of the mishandling of him in Legion. And I don't see them bringing Arthas back in the same kind of regard. You know, people say, oh, it's because of BFA and how, you know, much it made people leave. I disagree. Because they have made it so clear they care about these characters, you know, when it comes to how they handle them. That's why I mentioned what happened to Illidan in BC. That was such a thing that they were ashamed of and embarrassed about in regards to how Illidan was handled, that Metzen himself came out and said, I will not have us release Wrath until I give my own personal stamp of approval on the story, because he did not want the same mistakes that happened with Illidan to happen with Arthas, because they knew how important Arthas was to the story and to players. And they knew they had to properly handle him, you know, if they were going to use him, otherwise people would never forgive them for it. This is not just with Warcraft. This is the same thing with plenty of people that handle very different fictional properties, that they know if you mishandle a character in a certain setting that many people love, they will never let you live it down. They will never forgive you for it. You know, like, if you mishandle Luke Skywalker, Star Wars fans wouldn't... Oh, wait. I'm not gonna... Yeah, let's change subject. Or maybe if you mishandle Superman in DC... Oh, wait. Let's change subject again. or Batman, or Iron Man, or Captain America. You know, just as examples of characters that people love, and if you mishandle how you use those characters as a writer, then they will never let you know, or some of the characters in Game of Thrones, then the people will never let you live it down and never forgive you for it, because you completely mishandled a character that is very well cared for. You know, that's just something you don't do. You have to take care of these characters that are in your hands if you have the rights to continue their story, you know, with the writing of those. You have to be very careful about it. Your own reputation name is on the line if you don't handle it right. Just see how some people have reacted to some of those things I sort of jokingly referred to, but my point still stands about those. That those are very iconic and beloved characters in those properties. People care about how you utilize those characters. You know? Anyways. So I don't believe it's a break glass situation in case of emergency with Arthas. I think there is an idea and a plan here because they've heard people like myself, I want to get Arthas out of there. And Arthas doesn't deserve that fate. Not when you really know that he never actually turned evil, about the truth of the behind what really happened with Arthas, and that was actually Death Knight Arthas, a separate entity, which is the same situation that Kerrigan was in with the Queen of Blades, where that wasn't actually Kerrigan that killed all those people in Brood War, that was the Queen of Blades, a separate being, and this was actually established in the books. And it's the same thing with Arthas and Death Knight Arthas, because we know this because of the explanation of how the Death Knights work, especially in the starting zone. You know? The removal of the soul, and therefore they're a different being until that soul is returned to that being. That's what happened with our Death Knights in the starting zone. And that's what happened, that's what was going on with Arthas. I got emotional once again. Every time I hear the music of, I think it's Invincible, the track, but it's the music that we've heard play in the cinematic from Wrath. You know, the singing in the background. You know, that little portion there. It gets me emotional every time. I mean, it's such a beautiful piece of music. I just love that music so much. But, yeah. Yeah. Also, this guy, dude, just return to the path. Just trust in our ways. You are such a cultist, dude.
I am ready to aid you.
You are supposed to be the paragon of wisdom, and you are the complete opposite of that, as we just saw, you moron. I hope this memory helps you to understand Uther's path.
Devos meant well, meant to right a perceived wrong, but Uther was not ready for the trials of ascension. Straying from the path as the embodiment of loyalty itself, set Devos' course irrevocably towards doubt, violence. Her hand, Lasonia, quickly joined Uther in following her. As our anima stores waned, their numbers grew. With Devos gone, Lasonia will surely take her place leading the Forsworn. I pray we find peace before their campaign starts anew.
Yeah. Also, considering the cutscene that we saw at BlizzCon leading into 9.1, I'd say the Archon got a first-hand look and feel as to what it's like to be on the end of one of those rune blades. Like Devos was trying to warn her. Well, that's her comeuppance for not heeding the words of Devos. She got a rune blade right to the chest from Anduin. I'm just saying, the Kyrians and the Archon kind of brought this on themselves with this attitude and this approach. Alright, let's hearth back, shall we? I'm going to have to look up where are the best places to get these pieces so I can see what this Path of Ascension is like. So I can also see what some of the rewards are from doing it. In the meantime, however...
You are seen.
One Alexandros Mograine, ooh, of Maldraxxus is meeting with the Paragon of Courage in Archon's Rise. Xandria has requested you join them. The two worked together recently to repel a nascent secondary assault on the Temple of Courage. Xandria seems to trust him well enough, so we have granted him access to the hold. For now. I suspect they will not stay here long. You should make haste.
We all serve a greater good.
So, if you have seen my Necrolord run as my Death Knight, you will probably understand what's going on here with Alexandros, who is the Ashbringer.
Our accord. Garmor will fall by our combined might.
So it looks like we will be continuing this portion. He even brought a little gate here from Maldraxxus. We'll be doing this when we return. Stay tuned!